In this video, we take a look at one of the most successful radio presenters in America today. He's coming up to his 25th anniversary presenting the morning show or breakfast show of Z100 in New York. It is, of course, Elvis Duran. So Elvis Duran was born in August 1964, and he started on the breakfast show on Z100, or the morning show on Z100, in April 1996, so just coming up to his 25th anniversary. When you think of the show, I think you think of a sense of entertainment, a sense of fun, a big crew and a sense of pace. Underneath that, though, I think there's also plenty of evidence of a level of professionalism in terms of the performances, the planning, the preparation that leaves many other shows wanting. And when you look at the clock for the first time, I think most people are just shocked at exactly how much talking there is. Now, bear in mind that this is recorded off the internet, so what you hear on FM coming out of the radio may be very slightly different. But basically, there are 3 speech blocks. The first one runs about 20 minutes, the second one runs about 15 minutes, and the third one runs 6 or 7 minutes. And what's interesting too is exactly how much content goes into just one of those speech breaks. So here we can have a look at what's in the first one, and you can see that the first item, which I'm going to play you in a couple of minutes, is called Super Pooper Coffee, and it runs 3 minutes. Then there's a game, Female Porn Star or Yankee Candle Scent. That's the longest segment in this piece. Still only runs 4 minutes, and bear in mind there are 6 people contributing to that as they go around the room. The third item is Round the Room, where all the different characters on the show, Froggy, Scary, Danielle, Producer Sam, Gandhi, Straight Nate and Elvis, all talk about something from their weekend, from their lives, and it's a great example of real life as prep. We'll get into that in a moment. Then there's a discussion about snow and the weather forecast that runs 90 seconds. Then we have 3 things we need to know, and the topics are coronavirus, Black History Month, and male chastity belts and male chastity belt hacking. So the first segment I want to play you is what opens the first speech break in the hour. Elvis just makes it back from the toilet, and I think what you hear is just a wonderful sense of fun and enjoyment. Of course, some program directors will be more nervous than others about talking about bodily functions in the morning show, in the breakfast show, but I think what you hear is just a sense of spontaneous performance that is just a joy to listen to.
Hello?
Is Elvis still in the potty?
Yep.
No?
Yeah.
He said he was trying to hold it, but he just couldn't hold it.
Oh, that was insane what just happened. Are we on?
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
You just made it.
Everything come out okay?
Oh, my God. Why take the local when you can take the express, honey?
Oh, my God. I think it's that it must be that new coffee you're drinking.
It is. It triggered something in
Yeah.
me. What's that stuff called?
Super coffee.
Oh, my God.
Comes with a cape.
No, I mean, I got goosebumps.
Oh, my God.
I saw stars.
Wow.
Seriously, it was intense.
I don't even like coffee, and I want to try this stuff out.
I got to order some more of this stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Do you remember those pills that we used to order like 15 years ago called Oh Wow?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And the pills had all sorts of whatever and some cayenne pepper in there, and it would wake your stomach up, and you would go to the bathroom and do crazy stuff, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. Oh, wow.
Exactly. You'd be sitting there, you'd be, oh, wow. That's really, I wonder if they still sell those. I was like, oh, my God. Well, I just had an oh, wow. I don't want to get into details. It's really gross. I'm sorry. This is very crass to get into this, but the super coffee. Super pooper coffee. I got to.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to call it pooper coffee from now on. What's scary?
I also feel that coffee doesn't go with certain people's personalities. Like you, it may be great for you, but I don't think I could have super coffee because I know that I would be like talking 1,000 miles an hour and I would be all jittery.
It's like when you took those pills back in the day. What were those things called?
Healthy Trim.
Yeah, Healthy Trim.
Oh, remember those?
Oh, yeah.
You did, and I'm not kidding. He almost lost his job because we could not deal with him. It was like dealing with. It was like he was on crank. He was
Elvis told him he's not allowed to take them anymore.
Yeah. They said, but they're a sponsor. I've got to take it. I said, no, we'll lose the account. It's okay.
Yeah.
I turned into a whole different person.
Oh,
Yeah.
he had mood swings. Oh, it was awful. He would come in and start yelling at us. I'm like, what are you? No. It's like adopting a cute kitty, then all of a sudden the kitty turns bad and starts climbing the curtains. That's what that's what Scary was doing.
And one of the things about that segment is we don't know if that actually happened as it happened or whether it was prepared in advance, because the show just excels at really thorough preparation, then really spontaneous performance, and that was a lovely example of that very spontaneous performance. So just to refer you back to the clock, item 3 is Round the Room. This is a daily feature where basically all the people on the cast, and it's a large cast, will talk about something. As you can see from the durations on the right, you know, this is a well-controlled, well-managed bit. And I think this is something that Elvis does particularly well, not just in terms of discipline on the show, but also the show's casting itself is really good, so that everybody has a very distinctive personality. And as you'll hear, the segments they do really amplify those different personalities, but also they're well cast in terms of their voices. Everybody has a very distinctive voice, which makes the show easier to follow and navigate. Even though Elvis himself, I think, has said on occasion that the show takes a while to get to know, but once you do know it and like it, then you're kind of part of the gang. The other thing that Elvis does particularly well is he uses people's names a lot to make sure that you always know who's contributing if it's not Elvis himself. And I think this is something that a lot of shows don't do particularly well, where you can have two presenters talking sometimes, you know, across an hour, and they barely ever use each other's names. And if those presenters have a similar style or a similar build or a similar tone to their voices, for the listener it can be very confusing to know who's who. In this case, the show's very well cast, and Elvis does this really good job of making sure you know exactly who's talking. So from Round the Room, here's a clip I wanted to play you. What you hear is Danielle and then producer Sam.
So I know that this is a dumb way to think of things, but when you return something on Amazon, you know it always asks you, do you want to credit your account or do you want the money to go back to your card? I always just say, nah, credit my Amazon account because I know I'm going to spend it anyway. So then when it pops up that like I have these credits, I think of it as found money. Now I know it's not found money, but in my mind it's found money, and I get so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like a gift certificate.
It's not.
I got a gift card, but it's my own. Anyone else with me?
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Thank you.
I'm so with you on that one.
I never in my life thought there were two people that are exactly the same, but I found them both. I'm married to one and I work with the other.
Yeah.
You're married to both. What are you talking about?
Hey, producer Sam, what's up?
I really do think it's the smaller things in a relationship that are more important to me than the bigger things. Because last night, I was having a kind of bummer night, dealing with some personal stuff, and William just looks at me and he goes, do you know what you need? You need an Oreo milkshake. And he just orders me one, and it was the highlight of like months. I felt like it was such a delicious milkshake just because he gave it to me as a fix for me being sad. He didn't try and do anything big. He didn't try and fix the problem at the root, which usually makes stuff more difficult. He's like, nah, girl, you need a milkshake. And it was just so freaking lovely, and it's really the little things you should do for your partner. I think they carry more weight, actually, than the big things.
I would love just to date him for like a week.
Oh, so great, Elvis. I can't even lie. I don't know why he's still here.
I would run the rubber off the tires, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, damn.
The other thing that clip shows, I think, is just the general quality of storytelling from the whole team. Now, Elvis is very generous with his time, uses the cast on the show a lot, but there's never any real doubt about who's in charge. And I wanted to play you a piece of production. Now, the show doesn't have a lot of production on it, and that's mainly to do, I think, with the fact it's syndicated into so many markets. But when they do use production, they use big production, they use impressive production, and they use it well.
Elvis Duran.
I love the star of your show.
I listen every day. And the morning show.
The funniest thing I ever heard in my life.
I love you guys. I hear you every morning.
Hello, lady.
Hello, lady. What are you doing to my radio station?
You guys are a disgusting group of people.
It is funny. You have a crazy group.
Elvis Duran in the morning show.
Oh, yeah.
So at 30 seconds, it's quite long compared with a lot of station production, but I think it gives you a very clear sense of what the show's all about and is beautifully put together. Now, something about the show that I think is really interesting is that the people on it are very human and they regularly reveal their human side. And I think there's growing evidence that real beats perfect, and this show, I think, has bucket loads of that. So I wanted to play you a live commercial that Elvis reads. Now, the point is, the read isn't perfect, and I don't think it matters, but notice how much he commits to the content and how much he brings not just his own experience but his own life directly into it. If you were an advertiser, I think you'd absolutely love the level of engagement, the level of commitment that he gives this.
Elvis Duran in the morning show.
So here it is. It's February 1st. And you know, in 2 weeks, it's Valentine's Day. Order today. Get the flowers ordered. First of all, Valentine's Day, it's about flowers. I love receiving flowers. I love giving flowers. I better be receiving some red roses.
Oh.
Hint, hint.
Oh.
Alex, feel free to go to 1-800-Flowers.com. I'll tell you why, Alex. The biggest, brightest roses that can be found are at 1-800-Flowers.com. Alex, save some money this year. Get the 18-stem Enchanted Rose Medley for me for only $39.99, or double it to the 36-stem Enchanted Roses, just $20 more. Alex, anyone, everyone, get the roses ordered today. Get it done early. You get a better deal now. As a matter of fact, this offer expires Wednesday. So again, go to 1-800-Flowers.com. That's 1-800-Flowers.com. It's a phone number and a .com. Order 18-stem Enchanted Rose Medley for $39.99, or double the roses for just $20 more. That's 1-800-Flowers.com. Click on the radio icon, enter the code Elvis.
And I think there's a lesson there for a lot of broadcasters, just in terms of once you've got something you have to do, just give it 100%, commit to it and make it work for you, for the radio station, and if it's commercial copy, make it work for the client too. Right, I wanted to show you the clock for the second segment just to see how that looks. And what you can see is the same kind of pace is just maintained all the way through that second segment. So they talk about the pandemic impact on friendships. Garrett does this sound section where they just play a lot of different audio from different places to illustrate different stories they're talking about. And all of the audio is high quality, all of it's at the right level, all of it's edited properly, all of it sounds effortless because somebody made a lot of effort. And the Danielle report is interesting for a number of reasons, not least the targeting. Just notice how even when she talks about Sesame Street, she talks about the fact it's coming out next year, even as it's a retro piece. The pace, the energy, the flow, and the sheer number of stories she gets through. Have a listen to this.
Okay, so according to an upcoming documentary called Street Gang, How We Got to Sesame Street, which will be on HBO later this year, we learned that Sesame Street was inspired by beer commercials. A producer says that they noticed how kids were learning those beer jingles from television, so they thought, maybe we could use TV to teach them important things. And that is where we got the concept for Sesame Street. I thought that was so insane. So crazy. Let's talk about hold on. Where the hell is it? Oh my gosh, this is the problem when you have all these things on your computer. Hold on. Okay, so Miley Cyrus wants in on Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani's wedding day. She is actually offering to be their wedding singer for the day because she wants to be there so badly. So we'll see if that happens. I think that would be fun. Lil Uzi Vert says that self-expression is very important, and we know that it is. So Lil Uzi Vert will be implanting a pink diamond into his forehead very soon.
All right.
And will send us the pictures. We got to see some pictures of Iggy Azalea's son. We don't get to see that very often. He is absolutely adorable. So cute. So check that out if you get a chance. 50 Cent and Kid Cudi, they're cooking up a new TV series. They were talking about that over the weekend. So I'll let you know what that's about when we hear more. So this one's for Froggy. Twitter went crazy over the weekend because there is a soccer player and his first name is Jizz, and he did he did some incredible things in the Netherlands over the weekend, and so the Jizz was all over the place over the weekend. And everybody was talking about him. And he was trending, and as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, we are such children. Everybody is. Bachelor's on tonight. The Good Doctor. Ellen's Game of Games. My feet are killing me. And that's my Danielle report.
So many jokes, but we'll move on.
Not necessarily content that everybody would choose for their breakfast show, but certainly I think it demonstrates both the level of energy, the sense of fun, but also the quality of the listening that the other people on the team are doing, so that at any point they can join in and amplify and bring to life a story that somebody else is telling. And that's it for now. Thank you for listening to International Air Check. I hope for you it was interesting, entertaining or useful. Please do put a comment below, share it if you found it useful, let me know what you thought, and there could well be another one soon. Thanks very much.